radiant Atman, fellow seekers of the divine. Every human being is unique. No two of us are exactly the same. And yet, we have a tremendous amount in common. Indeed, we have much in common with all living things. Especially the desire to be. And one of the things we have in common as well as to be is to be happy. No one really wants to be sad or miserable, even though we may act as if we did. We want to be happy, at peace with ourselves and others. And yet, no matter how we live our life, no matter how well we live our life, something seems to be missing. Vedanta says the problem is desires. But then, what about the desire for God? That is a good desire. Indeed, we see that we can't do anything without desires. Therefore, we require discrimination between which desires are in our highest welfare and which lead away from it, ultimately cause us misery. In the Judaic tradition, when God created the world and put the first man and woman in ideal circumstances, He said, enjoy this world. He gave him work to do, a wife that had partnership, everything you could ask for. They were just warned about one thing. Don't start judging this universe or yourself as being good and evil. Without having differences, there can't be any creation. I see all differences as good. If you start liking one thing and disliking the other, calling one thing good, another thing evil, then you will die. Die to what? To the perfect happiness of God's presence, God realization. And in the Vedic tradition, they say that the human problem is that we are bound by the wheel of samsara, birth and death, birth and death. But that wheel only has two spokes, like and dislike, like and dislike. So therefore, desires are no harm. It is the like and dislike we put into them. It is the love and hate, judgment of good and evil. Does that mean we don't discriminate? That we don't see what things are positive and what things are negative? Of course not. We're meant to discriminate. We're meant to choose between the good and the pleasant. But do we need to love and hate things? Or can we just wisely choose between them? Loving and hating leads to misery. Discrimination between what is in our best interest and what is not leads in the direction of our eternal happiness. We have to be wise enough to understand this simple fact of our human life. It is so simple, so obvious. We have to wonder why we don't see it and follow it. That is up to us to discover. Once we see it, then we can start walking in the right direction. It requires understanding. It requires determination. It requires dispassion for the old way of doing things. But the whole universe wants us to do it. Evolution is the rule of the universe. And therefore, once we turn our face in that direction, the whole universe comes to support us even though from time to time it seems to be opposing us, that is simply to make us stronger, more determined, more clarity in our thinking. Thus, it is up to us to see these simple truths and do our part. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.